of the mistakes that I see people make is they think that if they've been into personal growth, if they've done a lot of mindset work, if they are self aware enough, if they've read the books and listened to the podcast, then they shouldn't feel bad when things happen anymore. Like they shouldn't feel negative feelings. They shouldn't think negative thoughts ever. And that is just not true at all. Bad things are going to happen in your life. Painful things are going to happen. You will have negative thoughts, negative feelings, and really hard seasons. In the book that I'm reading, Oprah has a line and it says, "Feel the feels, then take the wheel." The goal is not to bypass or fast forward through those feelings. The goal is not to pretend you're fine when you're not. But you also don't want to let your pain drive the car forever, right? So today's episode is all about how to experience and move through hard things, hard situations, painful moments without letting them turn you into someone that you don't respect anymore. Hey friend, welcome to the show. So if you are not new here and you've been here for a while with me and you've listened to several episodes, I'm going to ask you for a huge favor. Will you please just take a second, scroll down on your podcast app and give the show a 5-star review. And if you've got an extra second, write a sentence or two about what you love about the show. That really helps the podcast get discovered by more women who need these kinds of conversations. And of course, it helps me grow the audience. Okay, so right now I am reading the book, Build the Life You Want. And I came across a quote by Oprah, and she said, "Feel the feels, then take the wheel." And I thought this would be a really good concept to talk about because I see so many women struggling with this from different sides. We either try to just gloss over pain that we feel and pretend like everything is fine, or we get stuck in painful situations, in painful thoughts and memories, and we let it define us. It becomes our entire story. And neither one of those approaches is going to help you build the life you want. So here is one thing that I know to be true for sure. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how good your life looks on the outside. Every single human being on the planet has challenging things that come up in their lives. Every single one of us experiences negative emotions and negative thoughts and feelings. That is normal. It is human. And unfortunately, it's not going to stop. Even if you've done tons of mindset work, even if you've done tons of coaching, even if you've done tons of personal growth. And one of the things that I see women doing a lot is feeling like they don't have time to process negative emotions and feelings, right? We've got shit to do. We've got families to run, we've got jobs and responsibilities and aging parents and kids and houses to clean and groceries to buy and schedules to keep, right? And so somewhere along the way, often many of us have taken on this idea that we need to just move past things quickly, or that if we are truly evolved in our personal growth journey, if we're really good at managing our minds, then we wouldn't feel this way anymore. We wouldn't even have those negative thoughts and emotions, right? But that just isn't true. And this part is really important to keep in mind. Negative feelings and thoughts and emotions are not a problem to solve. They are not a sign that something is wrong, actually. They serve a very important purpose in your life. They help us learn lessons. They help protect us. They help steer us in a different direction. And they help us to stop repeating patterns that don't serve us. So the goal is not to eliminate negative feelings from your life. The goal is to learn how to be with them, learn how to feel them in a way that is healing and productive, and also know when it's time to take the wheel and take charge and move forward. So one of the things that I see with clients that I work with, and you may see this in yourself as well, I certainly have seen it in myself before, is we feel something uncomfortable, right? Something happens and we experience sadness or anger or disappointment, or maybe even fear or resentment. And instead of allowing that feeling, we try to gloss over it or shove it down or numb it away. We say we're fine even when we're not, or we stay really busy because we just can't think about that right now. We distract ourselves. We drink more than we want to. We eat when we're not hungry. We scroll on our phones. Sometimes we shop. We do whatever we can not to feel what we're feeling. And listen, I have done all of this. This is not me talking at you. This is very much me talking with you. I am in the trenches right alongside you. And listen, negative emotions feel uncomfortable, and your brain is wired to avoid discomfort. But here's one thing that really changed the way that I look at this when I first learned it. At its core, a feeling, an emotion that you're having, no matter how big, how negative the situation is, it is just a sensation in your body. Let that sink in for just a minute. Having negative thoughts and having negative emotions does not equal danger, right? There's no physical danger to you. There is no tiger charging at you in the jungle. There really is nothing to run away from. You're really just running from a feeling in your own body. So go with me for a second. I want you to think about a time when something really bad or really hard happened in your life. Now, think about those sensations in your body. Where did you feel it? Like, really answer that question. Maybe it was kind of a tightness or a heaviness in your chest. Maybe it was a knot in your stomach or feeling nauseous. Maybe it was like a heaviness in your throat or like your skin was buzzing. Was it sharp? Was it dull? Was it constant? Did it come and go? Like, really, really try to hone in on it. Because when you really stop to look at it, that is all that it is. Is it uncomfortable? Yes, of course. But is it dangerous? No, not at all. And here's the thing, when we don't allow ourselves to feel those feelings, they don't go away. They just wait. It's like a wound inside your body that you never cleaned and it became infected, right? It just sits there and it festers and it builds and it just gets worse and it gets more painful and it gets harder to clean the longer you let it go, right? Over time, it builds into things like resentment and bitterness and anger. You probably have someone in your life that you can think of right now that you can see. It's so evident in the way that they behave, in the way that they talk, in the way that they act, that they have got some deep-seated wounds that were never cleaned, some feelings that they never allowed themselves to really feel and move past. When we don't allow those negative thoughts and feelings and emotions, when we don't process them through our body and they fester like that, oftentimes it turns us into someone that we don't recognize, that we don't respect, and certainly not someone that we want to be. And by the way, numbing does not make it better. We think that it does, but it really doesn't. So one of the most common ways that people numb is drinking. And listen, I will be really honest here. I used to be a heavy drinker. And I told myself I was just taking the edge off, right? Just relaxing, just unwinding, nothing wrong with that. But what I was really doing was numbing. I was shifting my focus so that painful things in my life didn't feel so painful. That's why we call it numbing, right? It's like a numbing cream. You put it on and you don't feel the pain as badly. So several years ago, my husband brought up doing 75 hard. You can Google that. It's a program. Most people think of it as a challenge. It's really a self-discipline challenge is what it is. And by the way, I highly, highly recommend every single person do it. I literally think it's amazing and everyone should do it. You will learn so much about yourself. But one of the rules for 75 hard is for 75 days, you don't drink any alcohol, not one sip. And when my husband brought this up, I resisted, y'all, like hardcore resisted. And it wasn't because it required 2 workouts a day. It wasn't because it required drinking a gallon of water, though that was not fun. It wasn't all the other things. It was the not drinking. The idea of not drinking any alcohol for 75 days sounded impossible to me. Now, I knew it wasn't completely impossible because I didn't drink when I was pregnant with my child. But still, at that point in my life, it felt impossible. It felt ridiculous. And if I'm being really honest, it felt scary. It was terrifying to me because truthfully, I was terrified at what I would have to feel if I was not able to drink. And it wasn't even like my life was bad then. It wasn't. It was great. But I started drinking when I was young, and without a doubt, a lot of that stemmed from some of the childhood trauma and things that I experienced as a child. And of course, there's social things that go along with that too. But doing 75 hard completely changed my relationship with alcohol and my relationship with my own feelings and thoughts. And I did feel some stuff, and I did have to process some negative emotions during that time. And it ended up being a beautiful gift. And now, by the way, I do drink. I drink occasionally, but it's very occasional. I don't have alcohol just at my house all the time. I drink if I go out to eat a nice dinner or socializing with friends, but it is not a daily habit by any stretch of the imagination anymore. And in fact, when I have something going on in my life and I feel the urge to drink when I'm sitting at home, that is a huge red flag for me now. It's so easy for me to recognize it now, like, oh, I'm trying to numb something. What is it? And I can dive in instead of numbing it out. Okay, so what do we do then? How do we take care of this? How do we deal with it? The first step is feel the feel, as Oprah said. That doesn't mean you need to analyze it or fix it or judge it. Just feel it. Sit with it. Let the feelings move through your body. Notice what it feels like. Name it for yourself. I'm feeling heaviness in my chest. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling that, right? It's not just the thoughts, it's how it feels in your body. And yes, it is uncomfortable, but remember that discomfort is not the same thing as danger. Think about going to the gym. So, throughout most of my adult life, I have worked out pretty consistently. And over the last year, I have really backed off of that. And I'm about to start up again. I'm going to the gym actually today. And look, I know without a doubt, when I start working out again, I am going to be sore. Like, y'all, I'm probably not going to be able to get out of bed tomorrow. My muscles are going to hurt. And yet, I'm willing to do it anyway because I know that on the other side of that soreness is strength and resilience and endurance. And it's the exact same thing with your emotions. The soreness, those physical sensations are part of the process. Avoiding it is what keeps you weak. But there is another side to this. Feeling your feelings does not mean staying stuck in them. And this part is really important. You can allow yourself to feel the feelings, feel that pain without letting that pain become your identity. So this is where take the wheel comes in, right? And there are a couple of really good questions that I like to ask myself in these situations, and I like to put out for my clients when they're dealing with things like this. Number one is, what am I making this mean? And the other one is, who do I want to be in this moment? Because once you've allowed the feelings, once you've stopped resisting, then you get to decide what happens next. And here's something else I want to be really clear about. It doesn't have to be feel the feelings, then take the wheel. You can feel the feelings and take the wheel at the same time. You can be absolutely devastatingly heartbroken over a relationship that is ended and still make decisions and take actions that are going to serve future you in the best way. You can be grieving and still take steps forward. You can be angry, like super pissed off, and still decide how you're going to show up. And I've seen this with several clients, but one in particular that comes to mind. She was going through a truly horrific divorce. What she went through was absolutely devastating. And it was really important in our sessions to just talk through the fact and remind her that it was okay to feel the things she was feeling. Of course, this hurt. And also, you get to decide who you want to be in this situation. You don't have to wait until you feel better to start building a better life. And she didn't, right? She was feeling the feelings. She was processing her emotions. And at the exact same time, she was taking steps to build a beautiful future for herself and her kids. She was not letting her pain drive the car. So I want to encourage you to try this. Maybe it's this week or the next time something challenging comes up for you. And it doesn't have to be something big and major, right? We numb and avoid all kinds of negative emotions, big and small. But the next time you get the urge to numb or ignore a negative feeling or emotion, I just want you to pause. Say, okay, feel the feel. Set a timer for 10 minutes. Close your eyes. Identify for yourself where exactly in your body are you feeling it? What does it feel like? Describe it to yourself in detail, either out loud if you can, in your head if you have to, or even writing it down can be so powerful. And just let it be there. Just allow yourself to sit with the discomfort for a few minutes. And then ask yourself, who do I want to be in this moment? Ask yourself, what moves would future me respect right now? What's one small way that I can take the wheel? So listen, you can do hard things. You have done them before. You have survived painful things before and painful seasons. So don't shy away from your emotions. Dive in. Feel the feel, then take the wheel. All right, y'all, that's all I've got for today. Go be fabulous. Make sure you take my free Shift Happens quiz to find out what you're really craving next in midlife. Or if you think you might be ready to dive into one-on-one coaching with me, book a free clarity call. You'll find both links right below the video.